You booked the cruise for the turquoise water and the white sand. You did not book it to end up staring at a government warning and wondering if you just made a huge mistake. This year, the cruising world has changed fast. Some ports that used to feel like guaranteed fun now come with serious risk, and in a few cases, official guidance that says you should not go at all. Here is what makes this tricky. A cruise ship can feel like a floating safety bubble. The moment you step off, you are in a different reality. Ports can look polished and welcoming, but just a couple of streets away, the situation can shift, and it can shift quickly. That is why doing a little homework before you dock can make the difference between a perfect day and a stressful one. In this guide, we are ranking 7 cruise ports from risky to do not travel. For each one, you will hear what makes it dangerous, what can go wrong for unprepared travelers, and the simplest way to stay safe if your ship still stops. There. This is not here to scare you away from cruising. It is here to help you travel smart, keep your guard up in the right moments, and enjoy the trip you actually paid for. To keep these guides coming, subscribe to Cruise Adventure, hit the bell, and stay in the loop for every new video. Before we start naming ports, you need to understand one thing. Travel advisories are not just background noise, they are a signal, and they are usually written after a pattern of real incidents, not rumors. Here is the simple version. Level 1 means take normal precautions. Level 2 means exercise increased caution, which usually points to scams, theft, or a higher chance of trouble in certain areas. Level 3 means reconsider travel. That is where crime, violence, or unrest is serious enough that the risk can jump fast, even in daylight. And Level 4 means do not travel, not be careful, not think twice, do not go. Now, cruise lines know this. They build what looks like a safety bubble, gated ports, private beaches, security teams, and excursions that stay on controlled routes. That is why many people feel relaxed the second they step off the ship. But the bubble has an edge. And most problems happen right at that edge, when someone tries to do a quick walk into town, grabs an unlicensed taxi, follows a stranger offering a deal, or thinks 2 streets away is still the tourist zone. So this list is built around 3 things: the advisory level and how serious it is right now, the most common risks travelers actually face, like robberies, kidnappings, and organized crime, and how easy it is to accidentally drift from safe to sketchy without realizing it. We are counting down from 7 to 1. 7 is the port that gets risky mainly because people stop paying attention. 1 is the stop that can turn into a sea day with almost no warning. Let us get into it. Number 7 is Nassau in the Bahamas. On paper, it does not sound scary. It often sits at level 2, exercise, increased caution. The problem is not panic. The problem is comfort. Because everyone goes to Nassau, people treat it like it is harmless. They stop paying attention, they get loose with their phones, and they say yes to the first deal that sounds fun. Most of the trouble here is petty, but petty can still ruin your day. Tourist scams, pickpocketing, bags snatched while you are distracted, and operators who are not properly regulated. And when you get pulled into an isolated spot, the risk goes up fast. Nassau is not Florida. Treat it like a real foreign port with real consequences. Here is the safe play. Keep your wallet in a front pocket. Do not carry extra cash. Keep your phone put away unless you need it. Stick to busy, well-lit areas, and be picky with water sports. If a jet ski deal feels rushed, unprofessional, or off, skip it. Choose reputable operators and do not ride out alone. Nassau can still be a great stop. You just have to stay sharp because the biggest danger here is thinking there is no danger at all. Number 6 is Belize City. Not the jungle, not the caves, not the Mayan ruins. The city. And the reason this one makes the list is simple. The cruise port is basically a walled tourism village with security for a reason. Inside that area, you will see shops, vendors, and organized transport. It feels controlled. Step beyond it without a plan, and the risk changes fast. Belize City has real gang activity, especially in certain neighborhoods. And the problem is that a lot of travelers do the same thing here. They think, I will just walk into town for a bit, grab a coffee, see what is around. That is the exact move that turns a safe port day into an unnecessary gamble. This is not about fear. It is about not giving criminals an easy target. Here is the smart way to do Belize. Book a vetted excursion. Go for a cave tour. Go for the ruins. Go for something that gets you out with a guide and brings you back on a schedule. If you want something simple, stay inside the port area and treat it like a controlled stop. Shops, photos, and back to the ship. Belize is incredible when you do it right. Just do not turn Belize City into a do-it-yourself walking day. Number 5 is Montego Bay in Jamaica. This stop shows up on itineraries all the time, which is exactly why people drop their guard. Jamaica is often listed at level 3, reconsider travel. The issue is not only general crime, it is the way tourists get approached, pressured, and followed once they leave the resort or the cruise-controlled areas. No is not always accepted. A small interaction can turn into a problem if you get isolated or if you engage with the wrong person offering something illegal. The risk spikes when travelers try to explore on their own, take random taxis, or wander into neighborhoods that are fine for locals who know the area, but not for visitors who stand out. Even if you feel confident, you are still a target because you look like vacation money. Here is the safe play. Stay in the resort zones, the main tourist areas, or on a ship excursion. Use transportation arranged by the cruise line or a trusted tour operator. Keep your day simple and structured. If someone is pushing you, keep walking and do not argue. And if a deal feels sketchy, it is. Jamaica can be an amazing day, but only if you treat it like a place where boundaries matter. Number 4 is Roatan in Honduras. It is stunning, and that beauty creates a dangerous kind of confidence. The island is generally safer than the Honduran mainland, but that does not mean it is risk-free. Problems tend to happen when people relax too much and start improvising. The moment you step off the ship, you will feel the pressure. Vendors crowd you, drivers offer deals, and it is easy to end up in an unregulated taxi headed toward an isolated beach. There have been reports of tourists being robbed on remote routes and in quiet areas where help is not close. The pattern is almost always the same. A couple leaves the busy zone, takes a cheap ride, and suddenly there are no crowds, no cameras, and no easy way to get back fast. Here is the rule for Roatan. Stay with crowds and stay with certified tours. Pick well-known beaches and organized activities, not mystery stops. Do not rent a scooter and explore on your own. Do not chase the cheapest price. If your driver or guide cannot prove they are connected to a reputable company, say no. Roatan is a great port when you keep it structured, visible, and group-based. Number 3 is Colon in Panama. People come here for one thing, the Panama Canal, and that part really is worth it. The warning is about the city itself. Colon has one of the highest crime rates in the region, and the most telling detail is this. Even crew members, people who travel the world for a living, often choose to stay on the ship here. The most common problems are muggings and snatch and grab robberies right outside the port gates. This is not about a dramatic cartel scene. It is about opportunistic crime and desperation. If you walk into town, you are advertising that you are new, distracted, and carrying valuables. Here is the safe play. Book a canal tour or a reputable excursion that keeps you moving with a group. Do not wander into the city on foot. Do not wear jewelry. Keep your phone out of sight. Carry only what you need and keep it close to your body. See the canal? Get your photos and get back to the ship. Colon can be a great stop when you treat it like a transit point, not a place to explore freely. Number 2 is Acapulco in Mexico. For anyone who remembers old-school cruising, this one hurts. Acapulco used to be pure glamour, cliff divers, movie star energy, the classic resort era. But today, the wider area is tied to serious violence and kidnapping risk, and it has been listed under Do Not Travel Guidance. Some ships still dock, And that is where travelers get caught off guard, because the tourist strip can look calm and heavily policed. The trap is what happens when you drift 2 blocks too far, get into the wrong taxi, or decide to explore on your own because everything looks fine. Outside the controlled zones, you can run into organized crime territory fast, and once you are in a bad situation, help may not arrive the way you expect. Here are your 2 smart options. Take a ship-sponsored excursion that stays in vetted areas, or stay on board and enjoy an empty ship day. This is not the port for do-it-yourself wandering. If you treat Acapulco like a guided stop instead of an adventure playground, you can still have a safe day. If you improvise, you're rolling the dice. Number 1 is Labadee in Haiti. This is not just a warning, it is a closure in everything but name. Labadee is a private peninsula built to feel perfectly safe. Fences, guards, controlled beaches, and activities that make it look like a bubble paradise. The problem is what is happening outside that fence. When the broader situation in a country becomes unstable enough, even the most secured resort cannot fully isolate itself from the risk. Haiti has been listed under the highest level of travel warning, do not travel. And that changes everything. Cruise lines do not want the liability. Insurance companies do not want the risk, so sailings get canceled, ports get skipped, and itineraries get quietly rerouted. Here is what you need to know as a cruiser. If you see Labadee on an itinerary, do not get attached. There is a real chance it turns into a sea day. And if your ship does dock, stay inside the controlled area and follow the ship rules. Do not try to leave the secured zone. Do not treat this stop like you are seeing the real country. Enjoy the beach, enjoy the private facilities, and get back on board without testing the edge of the bubble. Now let us zoom out, because these ports are different, but the mistakes people make are almost always the same. If you follow a simple set of rules, you cut your risk fast without ruining the fun. First, do your homework before you sail. Check the latest advisory language, then read recent reviews for the port area and the excursion you want. If a place has a pattern of theft near the port gates, you will see it repeated. Pick one plan and stick to it. Wandering without a plan is where trouble finds you. Second, keep your shore day structured. Go with the ship, go with a reputable tour, or stay inside the controlled area. The moment you start improvising, taking random rides, or following strangers for a deal, you are stepping out of the safety bubble. Third, make yourself a hard target. Wear nothing flashy. Carry the minimum. Keep your phone away unless you need it. Use a crossbody bag that stays in front of you, or keep your wallet in a front pocket. Small habits like that stop most petty theft. Fourth, be picky with transportation. If it is not arranged through the ship or a trusted operator, skip it. Unregulated taxis are where tourists lose control of the situation. And never let anyone rush you. Pressure is a red flag. Fifth, trust your gut. If a street feels empty, if a driver feels pushy, if a vendor will not take no, you leave. You do not owe anyone your attention. Sixth, plan for small emergencies before you even step off the ship. Save a screenshot of your port map. Keep your ship card on you, and set a simple meeting point if you are traveling with family. Give yourself a time buffer to get back, because the worst day to cut it close is the day something goes sideways. And here is the final rule. Sometimes the smartest choice is staying on board. An empty ship day is not a failure. It is a win. Cruising is still one of the safest ways to travel. But the moment you step off the ship, you are responsible for your own choices. Research the port, pick the safe option, and do not confuse popularity with security. If you have ever been to a port that felt sketchy, share it in the comments so other cruisers can learn from it. And if you want to know which cabins to avoid so you can actually sleep on your next cruise, check the next video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Cruise Adventure and hit the bell. It is truly appreciated, and it helps the channel a lot.